All right, so we're gonna feed Alfalfa. Okay, let's see how hungry he is. He's a big boy. He's very plump up. He's not skinny at all. So I'm only giving him like 4 crickets. So let's see. That doesn't mean anything though. He's always in the mood for some crickets. Alright, that was 4 crickets. Let's see his hunting techniques. There is a cricket right there. He is still unaware or willfully ignorant of his surroundings right now. Did he notice? No. Let's move the camera here. He will notice soon. Okay, he's just kind of perfectly hiding from the camera. Like right now, he's at the spot. Oh, I think he got one. So it's definitely hunting mode. Excuse the nastiness of this glass, by the way. It's just that I literally dropped some gecko food last. I was gonna say last week, but I mean this weekend. This just past weekend, like 3 days ago. I haven't cleaned it yet. Okay, I think I need to clean it now because obviously can't see anything with that. And anyway, I don't have any water around here. Okay. There she is. He's hunting. Are you hunting or just playing around? Come on. Let's clean this glass a little bit. Sorry guys for disturbing you. Oh, he got one. Damn, we're missing the action, guys. We are missing the action. Okay. I should have thought of this before. But okay, here you go. That's a little better, isn't it? Okay. I'm literally just cleaning the area where the camera is. That should help. I see 1 cricket left. I'm not sure if there's 1 or 2 left. Maybe we can give him a hand. Just gonna move this cricket to the front. And he definitely feels attracted to the tweezers because that's how I've fed him before. But okay, the cricket is coming this way. Just wait for it. You can see the reflection. Oh, there are 2 crickets, so that means he only ate 2. I push the other one as well. Okay. Do not bite my finger for the second time. So just keep at it. Look there. There you go. You see the reflection. He's looking at the oh, never mind. He's looking at my viper gecko. Is right there. Don't be a well, would it be a cannibal if you eat a different species? I guess not. But he's looking at a viper gecko, which is, basically a pygmy leopard gecko. Just a tiny species of gecko that very much resembles the leopard gecko. And the viper gecko is actually looking at the crickets. So the viper gecko is like, okay, where are my crickets? I see a big cricket right there. Where are my crickets? So look at that cutie. He's like, give me a cricket, bro. I'm about to feed them, don't worry. I feed the big crickets first and then I'm gonna go with the small ones. So as you can see, my enclosure is bioactive. I rarely ever clean it, and this is the result of not cleaning a bioactive setup. You see a lot of urates, which is basically part of the urine of the reptiles, and they are hard little pieces of almost like clay, you could say. They're rock but sandy, and they are definitely not something that the cleanup crew will eat. They just stay there. I'm actually not sure if they ever decompose. I guess with rain and watering, in the basically in oh, he actually saw the reflection in in nature. The brain and everything would actually sink it down to the ground, and maybe the plants would eat it as part of their nutrients. But in a bioactive setup, and especially in a dry bioactive setup, they do stay in the surface, and as you can see, they accumulate over months and sometimes years. In my case, I've only cleaned his enclosure maybe twice in the last 2 years. I'm not even kidding. Rarely ever do I ever touch this enclosure in the sense of cleaning the substrate. Like there's nothing to clean except the urates. So the actual feces will decompose you know and go into the soil. And even though I only have like a plant and a half, I still fits the soil still stays fertile for this plant. um, so I just need to add water and light, obviously. But as you can see, um, even over a couple of years, maybe I've had this guy for a long time, but the enclosure, the bioactive setup, um, this one specifically, is probably only 2 years. It's been 2 years at least. And there you go. Finally, some hunting action. Slowly approaches, misses. And yeah, so the enclosure does have a lot of urates in what that corner. It also shows you that leopard geckos are one of those rare but amazing species that will pick a spot where to poop and where to do their business. So they will only do their business in that one corner that they choose in your enclosure. And in this case, he chose that one, and that's where he will always do it. And that's great because you will, otherwise, I would find those urates all around the enclosure now, and I would probably clean more often too, which you could say is a good or a bad thing, but to me it's just easier not to clean. And as you can see, the substrate is very sandy because obviously it has a lot of sand in it, a lot of rocks. And he's been here for over 2 years, I would think. Look how he shakes his tail. And he definitely hasn't had impaction, otherwise he would be dead, most likely, I guess. But he has never experienced that. None of my geckos have had that. And it's all up to the heat and the humidity. If they are not too dry or too wet, if they are not too cold or too hot, their body should function just how they're supposed to, and they should pass the substrate. Now there is different types of substrate that are more dangerous, of course. Even if everything is perfect, calci sand is notorious for being tasty to them, because they like to eat, probably even in desert, they not in desert, but Iraq, Iran, they probably do eat sand when they need some calcium or something, and they do fine. But the calci sand is something that they probably find tasty, so they eat a lot of it. Just like they would eat calcium, you can give them powdered calcium, and they will eat the calcium without you trying. I give them these little things right here, and as you can see, this one is dirty already, and the calcium got all dry, wet and then dry. But I feed them like that, and they eat that powder. It's well known that they like it. So, and it's just calcium, pure calcium. So and this video is a little boring if I cannot show you the guy himself. But to sum up, here's the other guy. To sum up, some substrates will be more dangerous, like calci sand. I would never use that. If you're gonna mix your substrate with something, use play sand or find some other safe sand that will not clump up. When the reptile eats it, some sands will clump up inside of their stomach, and that's what makes it even harder for them to pass. But other substrates, most substrates should not, and so in this case, This guy has probably ate a lot of substrate through the couple of years, but he just passes it. And after you feed your gecko, don't make the mistake of putting your hand in and try to pet him. He's still hunting, and depending on how he behaves, how he reacts, you can kind of predict what he's gonna do, but there's a higher chance that he will bite you. So I made a big mistake, even though I would like to consider myself a nice gecko keeper. But look at this. You see how he reacted? He's in full alert. So if my finger would have been, I was not near where close his mouth, so I definitely had time to hide, to retrieve my finger. So don't worry about that. But the mistake I made before is that I touched him near the head, and that's something stupid. So that's something that, I am a novice keeping geckos. If I make those mistakes, maybe somebody who's kept them for 5-10 years would probably had experienced it at least once or twice, and they would probably already know it. But I've only kept them for maybe 4 years, and it's the first time I got bit by them, and it was really bad. So you learn from your experiences, obviously. Look at him! Look at him! Look at him! He's going for that little cricket. They love shaking their tail because that distracts their prey. If the prey looks at the tail instead of looking at the head, it's higher, like a better chance that they will get confused and they'll get eaten. It's right there, boy. Okay. So. Alright, he's a big boy. He can miss one cricket.